Thank you. Well, that was terrifying. It's really scary. Holding those and the wind is going crazy.
Pucker factor.
Major pucker factor. 50 pounds worth of solar panel, and I had to hold it by myself for a moment. It was scary. Scary and windy.
You did an awesome job.
So did you. Holy smoly.
Team effort.
Lucky he's so confident on ladders, because I'm not.
There's that also.
But I'm getting more comfortable, and you know, a year ago me would have really dropped a loaf in my pants.
Oh yeah, steamer.
Yeah.
Proper log, if you will.
I think my heart rate's finally coming down. Kinda. Whew, that's gonna stay with me for a bit. Well, at least I know I'm alive.
All right, so now that these panels are up here, we've got to put some paper over them to cover them, because when you're wiring panels, you gotta cover them because they're now energized, but because the wires aren't touching anything, we're good right now. So we'll cover them, and then we can start mounting them and drill more holes and stuff.
Yay, let's go!
All right, so now that we have the solar panels on the roof, which was freaking exhilarating, I need to identify the positive and negative wires on the back of these so that I have oriented in the right direction, because we're going to be hooking the positive and the negative together in this pair, so that'll be a series, and then the positive and negative together on the other pair, so those will be a series, and then we'll wire them in parallel going into the combiner box. Pull this up. All right, so this one here is the negative and that's the positive. So I got some red tape. I'm gonna put some red tape on that positive right over there. Just because I'm a visual person, so that'll help out. That is the negative, and that one is the positive. Next step, I want to secure the panels to the roof because it's crazy windy out here today, and I don't think the panels will just take off on their own. They're pretty freaking heavy, but it'll be a little bit more peace of mind if they're connected. So I'm gonna start with the ends that are already connected, because this bar here, it's kind of floating right now, so that needs to be connected as well. So something we have to consider is on the ends, we need that to be able to pivot, because all these panels are going to pivot in the passenger to driver side orientation, depending on how we have it configured. In driving mode, they'll be down, they'll be flat, they'll be streamlined, but we want them to be able to pivot. So to do that, we're going to have to figure some things out. So one of our patrons is an electrical engineer. Joseph is his name, and he sent us a document about how solar panels should be mounted to metal roofs and how much clearance they need from the metal roof to the bottom edge of the solar panel. Now this is so that they don't overheat, and it allows for airflow underneath. So that minimum distance is 3 inches. And the way that we have these panels configured right now, we have exactly 3 inches from the bottom edge of this rail. Now the panel continues to go up by another inch. So we actually have 4 inches on the most shallow side, and on the highest side, there's about 10 inches. So I think that'll be ample room for airflow. So something I was thinking about while I was doing this is there's no locking washer or anything like that on here. So right now I'm just getting the placement so that we've got the holes so that these panels stay on the roof. Because there's still another mechanism that we have to put in here. It's probably gonna be another piece of angle iron. So when we do tilt, we'll basically have another piece that'll go to different holes in the angle iron that's attached to the solar panel. So I think that what we'll also do is on this side, also have maybe a washer and a lock washer, or maybe just throw a lock washer in there. So when we do tighten these down, it's got that spring lock thing going on to help reduce the possibility of these backing out while we're bumping down the road. But for now, this is gonna work. And I'll look into adding those once I get all the panels situated. So not to worry, there's more to come with this. And I know you're probably wondering, oh, how are they gonna tilt? I'll show you how we're gonna do that, because might have to pull out some paper, maybe this paper that's sitting up here, and work the Pythagorean's theorem a little bit to to see how long this bar should be, because if it's at different angles, then it'll be able to go up and down. It's the whole triangle thing going on. So, so stick with us, got more to go. All right, y'all, the wind noise was pretty ridiculous, but there you have it. There's the middle two, there's the far left one over there, and the far right one on the rear. So next step, connecting that end of the rear panels. Whew. All right, so on the front side of the back ones, so the forward facing towards the front of the bus, that's the rear of the bus. We've got this crossbar here that needs to be secured to that point, unistrut, and that point over there. So now that we have that part anchored, we can now safely say, okay, this is where this needs to lie. So I'm gonna move that bar around until it's nice and snug, and then get it fastened. Cool. And that's fine. That's a little snug there. It'll keep it from vibrating while we're bouncing down the road. Channel nut looks like it's engaged pretty well. Yeah, it's right. Its teeth are right on the inside of the channel, so that's really good. All right, these ones here are done for the mounting. We probably won't get to the hypotenuse pieces that'll make up the tilting part of the bracket today, but we're set up for success for just fabricating that piece and figuring out how frequent we want to have holes drilled in so that we're able to achieve those various angles. So this is pretty exciting. Now that this one's done, we'll go to the front and do that one as well. Actually, I might bring the air compressor up here at some point, blow off all these shards. I'm gonna leave these off because I might be able to get to running some wires before it's dark. We probably have another, shoot, maybe hour of light. But it also did take an hour and a half to get this one done. But I think the next one's gonna be a little bit quicker just because I already have it kind of down in my mind. So it should be pretty smooth. It's going on really nice. I'm really excited. Can't wait to get these things hooked up. Producing power. Power. Y'all, I literally just finished the last two putting in the screw ends, the part that does the pivot, and the first two took, what did I say, an hour and a half or something like that? These took only 36 minutes. So what that means is it took me a while to develop a plan because I didn't really have one right out of the gate. And then after that, just took my measurements and applied it to the front ones. Went so much freaking quicker. So I'm pretty excited about that. Next up, we gotta start wiring these panels together and do a roof entry. So that should be a lot of fun. All right, so considering these panels are gonna be wired in series together, we go positive to negative, and then the positive and negative on the opposite side go down and we'll make the roof entry. And then the other set of panels will have positive, negative, and the positive, negative that go from those two panels will also go through a second entry gland. So I don't know if I need to create an extension because the panels come with a little bit of wire already connected, but I'm not too sure if that's going to be long enough because there's the positive. So like if we tilt this up and it's on the bottom side, I might have to have like build an extension or something for those. And then this one here, you know what? I think this might be long enough. Let's see. Get the tape off. So here's the negative. You know what? This is plenty long enough to do the tilting that we want to do and not have to have extra. So there you go. First connection's made. That was easy. We might have to figure out a way to manage the wires up here just so they're not flopping around while we're driving. Like maybe have something that they can Velcro to. So yeah, we might have a tie down strap of some kind because that's an excessive amount, but that's perfect amount so that whenever we do go to tilt, they can tilt one direction and the other direction without a problem. And this side over here is the snug side on this particular panel, which is fine. There it goes. I'd prefer it to be snug than super loose because if it's snug, it won't rattle around as much. And if it was super loose, then that could be a rattling problem when we're bouncing down the road. Okay, so now that both sets of panels are connected in their own little series together, now we're gonna run and fabricate a cable to go from the back panels all the way to the front. And then from the front panels, we're gonna have the entrance gland probably right here at the end because we've got some space behind the bulkhead for those panels to drop in, probably right down. It'll be sheltered right there. So let's get on this. All right, y'all, this should be some fun. We have, if I can get situated here, we've got the positive and the negative from these front two panels. So the positive's coming from this one, the negative's coming from that one, and the back two leads are both connected in series. So that's positive to negative. So we need to make an extension for this positive and run it all the way to the back. We also need roof party, yeah. And then we need to make an extension for the negative and run it all the way to the back. Note that the positives have a male connector and the negatives have a female connector like this. All right, so we've got a mass amount of wire here. This is 10 gauge solar wire. At least that's what they told us. Mark there at the solar mall. This stuff is pretty freaking beefy. It's not just normal 10 gauge wire because this stuff actually is like super UV resistant, and it's got a lot of nice copper strand in there. On the side it says Southwire CSA 10 AWG, so 10 gauge, and it's a direct burial wire that's RoHS compliant. So
well, we won't be burying it.
We won't, but that just means that you can bury it, which means that
you want to.
It can withstand some stuff for sure. Okay.
That's what it means, kids.
It can withstand some stuff.
If you were wondering, now you know.
All right, so first things first, we're going to make a connector. So we need a female, and I've never created one of these before. So let's see what we have in our bag of tricks. We've got some little clamps here. Maybe not they're clamps, they're wrenches. They're the connector wrenches. So we have those.
It's been a while since we got the marque.
We've got a male connector. We'll use that one on the negative side to run that one. So we'll put that guy there. Let's see if we can find a female. And we have a female connector. So there's also leads in here. So I don't know if this one is loaded with a lead. Nope, that one's not loaded with a lead. And then this one probably already has, yep, that has a lead already. All right, so first things first, we're gonna take the female, because we're working on the male, and slide this through. There's a cable gland in there. We're gonna slide that piece on. If you don't do this, you have to slide it on your entire spool. And then this piece will go on here. But first, we need to strip this end, and we also need to crimp on a connector.
Crimp on!
Crimp on.
Not cramp on, crimp on.
Not crimp on. This is gonna be special. I don't know if there's...
This is the one chance Rooney.
This is the one chance
But
Rooney.
he sent us with extras so that we could cut the wire if we screwed up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow!
Whoa.
Birdie family!
Birds are going nuts tonight.
The gang's all here.
Yeah.
This is the best time of day for birds.
Yeah, the birds.
For sure. All of our birder friends out there.
Birds are gorgeous today.
We love birds.
Yeah.
I saw a big hawk on the way back.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I see one every day. Hands down.
All right, so something to think about is the male connection. There's two pins. There's one pin that has a hole in the middle and one pin that doesn't. And looking at the male connection here, it looks like it has a female pin on the inside. Now, that's pretty wild. And then this one looks like it has a male one on the inside. I don't know why they set these up like this, but they did. I think that's why Mark was laughing whenever he gave us this.
He's like,
he was just like, good luck and Godspeed. Okay, so the wire is going to go basically all the way to the end there. So we need to cut the wire right before this base piece, because we'll crimp that piece onto the shielding. So I'm going to strip it right there. So I've got several strippers. I've got this one. I'm going to try this one just because I really like that one.
Mark never said call me either.
No, he didn't say call me if you need some help. He just said good luck and Godspeed. Nope. I might have to use
your knife.
No.
Do you need me to go get Ulfa?
Nope.
No.
We've got backups. We've got this one. Has a 10 gauge.
Ooh. Use your teeth?
There we go.
Oh, there it is. Did you lose any strands?
That's the one that wins. 0 strands lost. Nice clean.
Thank goodness.
All right, so now let's see if we can put all of these wires into there. Yes.
And then do a crimperooski.
Yeah. All right, so now you've got this little part here that gets...
You think if we put up the drone right now that the birds would just go batshit crazy on it?
I know, right? They might. This is the first one I've ever done, and Mark didn't give us instructions on how to use this.
Right. Oh wow, that thing. Is that crimperoonied?
I'm guessing.
Whoa. That swarm of birds is amazing.
All right. Now let's put this down here. And this goes up and supposedly it clicks or something.
This is the only time. Final click.
Does it click when you push it, or does it click when you tighten it?
I think when you put the whole kit and caboodle together. One click
when
and
you,
it's over.
When you tighten this?
Oh, no, no. No, not that. It's when this piece goes into that piece. Male into female.
Male into female. All right, so here's this.
They just clicked.
They just clicked together.
Remember when he gave it to us in a Lego bag?
Yeah. Oh, there's the click. I think that was the click he was talking about.
There's a click.
Yeah.
There's might be another click though.
Well, this is gonna click also.
This is it.
There we go, there's that connection.
That's forever. Wow. I can really see myself chilling up here a lot.
Yeah. All right, so I am going to also put the electrical tape here, indicating that this is still a positive wire.
Still.
It still is.
It never changed and probably won't.
Probably won't ever. And if it does, I don't know how it did.
Magic?
Cool.
I had adrenaline for about an hour after I left you.
No kidding. And then what happened?
I just all of a sudden was like, oh, I'm calm again. Cool.
Well, oh, from the traumatic
solar panels up onto the roof.
The traumatic solar panel up on the roof. All right, so now we need to stretch this wire out across, but we also need to lift this panel up and make sure that we have enough slack so that when we do run the wire across, there's enough slack.
Oh, cable tie action. If you're wondering.
Just in case you were wondering. All right.
So we're gonna cable tie it into this position so that there's some extra slack when the panels are tilted up. There's lots of wiggle room for the cord.
Tootin'.
What?
Darn tootin'. So I'm doing this under at kind of a silly way here because I don't want this to get in the way of decking.
No.
Because
we'll be protected then too.
Yeah.
Can't wait till we have a power.
Oh, it's getting dark out here, y'all. We're just trying to run this wire though. Ready to run some wire?
Yeah.
Woo! Right. All right, so we're putting the entrance glands underneath the solar panels to just shield them from the elements. So the solar panel stops right about here. And then this goes up into the rear bulkhead.
Whoa.
Wool. Wool.
Wool. Now we're just measuring out the wire. Hold the wire and the tape with your foot is a good trick. While you hand hold the solar panel. And your partner that likes measuring measures.
Measures. All right, there's 13 feet right there. There you go. It's
official. It's getting a little too dark for us to film. and we really want to get this footage for you guys. So we're gonna sign off for tonight and proceed with this tomorrow, we guess.
All right, y'all, it is extra windy out here today. Nice and sunny. We had to cut it short last night because it got real dark real fast and we couldn't see anything, much less capture a solid video for you. So now we're gonna continue with the wiring. So we drilled these holes last night, right here, and let's see if you can see them. Drilled those holes last night. There's bare metal there, and we're gonna put these entrance glands that generally go on the top of the panel. We're gonna pop those in place and pass the wires through to protect them, just because we don't have any rubber grommets, and that's what the job of these are anyway. This also has a little flange in there that prevents the wire from being tugged out inadvertently. So we'll just zap that with a little bit of rattle can, just right in the hole, and then I put some plastic on the underside, just taped up against it so we don't get any paint around any of the wool in there. That'll just help with a little rust prevention on that. So we'll let that dry for a few minutes, and while we do that, I'm gonna go grab the wire and start wiring up more stuff. Well, I'm up on the roof. What's Erin up to today?
Hi! I'm working on our Wi-Fi video.
Oh, nice.
We have Wi-Fi!
By the time you see this, it's already out.
So exciting.
Nice. How's it working in the bus?
Oh, I love it in here.
Feels nice?
It's so nice and bright and beautiful, and this chair is really comfy. I can't wait till we have like spots to set things, but for now this is really good.
Nice.
I feel really focused here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's nice.
Good. So I'm unwinding this first so that there's not a lot of coil in it. All right, here it goes. All right, that's good. And you just let it sit there. So that's the first one, and then we'll have the negative also go through there, through that hole, and then once they're both through, then we'll pop this around the wire, both wires, and then it'll protect them, and then seal the gland to the roof. All right. that's good. Thank you. So y'all, last night when it was really dark out, had a little mismeasurement issue. Couldn't really see the tape measure too well. And well, I cut this positive lead about 2 feet too short. So now I am going to attach a male to this positive end. All right, y'all, here's what we have going on. We've got the front panels and the rear panels. Front two, we have a positive and a negative that come in. The negative comes in to this negative bus bar here, and the positive connects to this 15 amp breaker right here on the side that says positive. On the rear panel, we have the positive and negative coming in. This bottom one is the negative for the rear panel, and the second breaker here, the 15 amp breaker, is the positive for that panel group. Now we've got these two breakers then connect here at the top, if you could see that up in there. And then there's this wire here that comes down from that square block that connects them to the 63 amp breaker, and that's the master disconnect for the both panels. That one's going to connect to the solar charge controller, and we'll have a wire coming off of the negative bus bar to the solar charge controller. And this bar here is the ground, equipment ground. So we'll have that go to the chassis. It's coming along. All right, that one that we're pushing down into the basement is going to be the positive, so I'm going to put a red piece of tape on it. So let's go and put that together. We'll dress this up here in just a bit. This one will probably come back like that. And then come straight up there. So we've got the positive coming down through here, the black wire. It's wrapping around the back side over there. and the positive go in there. So now we'll fish a negative through the same way. There goes the negative. Now let's go outside and wire it. There it goes. All right, now that we have positive and negative on the solar charge controller, all we have left to do is set the ground wire, and then we'll be able to uncover the panels and see if this baby works. Next up, we climb on the roof and take all the paper off and see if we're getting any juice. It's sun's setting now, but it should register something if it's connected right. Sounds like it's still pretty windy up there. Yeah, it's still windy up here. We test and see if anything's happening. No direct sunlight on it. Maybe it'll have something. I don't know. We'll see. The switches are all in the off position for the breakers. I'm going to test to see if we're getting any voltage at all. No voltage. Now I'm going to turn breaker number 1 on. Let's see if anything's going on. 7.72 volts DC. I'm going to turn that one off. Breaker number 2, 7.67 volts DC. Let's go backwards and see if it, yep, it shows a negative there. So we're testing polarity here. Make sure our poles are correct. So that's positive. That's positive. Let's test backwards. That's negative. Okay, cool. So that's good. So now we've got both on. We're gonna pull up the app for the solar charge controller. And right now it is reading, it's connecting. So right now that app is reading that it's not pulling in anything. So now I'm gonna turn, I've got both breakers on and I'm gonna turn the master on now. Is it working? There it goes. We have 23 watts of solar coming in. In the shade. It's climbing though, look at that. 39 watts. It'll adjust, like the sun is not even hitting the panels. 72 volts. We've got solar, folks. We have solar. Look at that. I'm so fucking excited. That is great. That's great to see. Let's go downstairs and look at the solar charge controller and see if there's any new lights on down there. So we're producing power now. We are producing power now. This is really freaking cool because this is the next step to being off-grid and staying off-grid so we can get out there and stay out there just like Battleborn talks about. Woohoo! Make sure no meltdown down here. Everything looks good. No new lights. That's fine. So I think we're just cruising along now.
It's daylight, and I'm back, and I want to see what Brian did.
And you modified your shirt. Good job.
He cut me. Let's go. All right. What'd you do?
So last night I got everything hooked up and I tested it, but the light was almost completely gone. And so we had just a little bit of production, but let's see what we have today. Yeah. Now that the light is out, we've got the panels off right now. And Can I turn them on? You can turn them on. I'm pulling up the app. the Victron Connect app. All right, so right now you see that 0 watts. So start from the left to the right. We'll turn on the panels and then do the
My muff's in the way.
Here, you want to take this off?
Oh!
Sorry, guys. Hope that didn't hurt too much.
All right, turn this up.
Yeah, all 3 of them. 1, 2. Nice. So that'll start sending. So this controls the front panels, the rear panels, and then this is the master disconnect, which will disconnect everything. So let's see what sort of.
Holy smokes!
Oh, it's starting to register.
Yeah.
Nice. I think we might be in partial sun right now. So let's see how high this goes, because we've never put this in the sunlight before, and it's cloudy out also. So there's 4 330 watt panels up there, connected in series parallel. And I'm not too sure, like the sun keeps coming and going. So this should just like amp up. Holy smokes, the clouds are moving right now.
Clouds have parted.
So that'll just continue to fluctuate. So with the 4 panels, that should be up to 1,320 watts total capacity, like max. But this is like at 816 right now in partly cloudy conditions. So that's pretty solid, I'm pretty sure. I don't know a lot about solar panels and the wattages and stuff. We're still learning about that. But I think that this might do pretty freaking good. This might do really, really good.
Yay.
Exciting. We'd like to thank Battleborn for partnering with us on this project. If you're looking for a solar system for your schoolie, van, or off-grid cabin, check out Battleborn batteries.
If you want to get out there and stay out there, check out the link in the description.